Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing well. In this video I will walk you through the Lightblade Grandmaster Nightfall. I will first show you what classes and subclasses we used, followed by the weapons, and finally the strategies in each room. Timestamps are in the description below. To begin with, we had one Warlock running stasis for ad control combined with Eye of Another World exotic helmet to increase ability regen. We then had two Hunters, both of which ran Tether for DPS. One of them was running Orpheus Rig for the extra tether shot, whilst the other had Omnioculus armor to spam invisibility grenades. If you want, you can bring a Titan, and I suggest you either use a Banner Shield or Bubble with it. Now here is some key information about the Nightfall. It has Unstoppable and Barrier champions, with the majority being Barrier. Incoming arc damage is also increased, and there are arc and solar shields. The following loadouts are what we use to complete this Grandmaster, so either copy them or use them as a template when creating your own builds. Moving on to weapons, our Warlock ran the Arbalist for stunning barriers, an Arc Bow for clearing ads at a distance, and finally an RPG for DPS. One of the Hunters ran an Arbalist, followed by the Glaive for stunning unstoppables, and lastly an RPG for DPS. Our second Hunter ran a Scout Rifle for barriers, a Pulse Rifle for unstoppables, and finally the Gallahorn to give the rest of the team Wolfpack rounds. Now onto mods. I suggest everyone on the fire team has Loosened Finisher to be able to generate heavy ammo upon finishing a champion or Lightbearer. If you do decide to use a glaive, remember to put on suppressive glaive on your class item. For leg armor, run some ammo scavenger mods. Moving to the chest armor, you will need an arc resist mod. The thermal shock plating mod will cover that, and it has solar on it too, which will help against the acolyte solar grenades. I also suggest running a concussive dampener, as it will reduce incoming splash damage from the barrier champions and the boss. For the gauntlets, run your champion stunning mods, and finally for the helmet, make sure to have ammo finder mods on. With that out of the way, let's get right into the Nightfall. At the beginning, you will need to get rid of the Lightbearer boss by firing a few rockets at it. It will force him to teleport and prevent him from sniping at you. There are two barrier champions in this room. Take out a few ads around each of the barriers, so that way you can lower their health and safely perform some finishes for heavy ammo. Once the barriers are dead, have at least one teammate turn invisible and run to the next section. This will despawn all the remaining ads. In this next room, there will be 3 barrier champions and 3 Lightbearers. Right at the beginning, take out the 2 wizards, as they will only get in the way. Once you do, stay here at the front of the room and take out the first Lightbearer on the far right. Be careful of the Lightbearer shields, as they bounce off the walls and easily wipe your whole team, and remember to kill the ghost after you defeat the Lightbearer. Try to also avoid the Lightbearer suppression grenades, as they can one-shot you, and if you survive it will cancel out your super. Once the first Lightbearer is taken out, try to get rid of some of the barrier champions and acolytes. As soon as you kill most of the ads in the room, a second Lightbearer will spawn at the front of a room where you entered. Use your supers to get rid of it quickly, or proceed back down the hallway and wait for the Lightbearer to stand in the doorway. That way you can safely kill him with your rockets. The third Lightbearer will spawn in the middle along with some Arc Knights. Launch your tether in the middle and kill them in the spawn to save time and revives. Afterwards, you will find yourself in the Barge Room. There will be barrier champions on either side of the barge. Make your way up either staircase and get rid of them. When both barriers die, the barge will activate as soon as one person stands on it, so stay clear of it until you are all ready. Take out the ads on either side of the room, so that way they don't shoot you whilst the barge is moving. When the barge stops, there will be 2 orbs for you to collect to reactivate the barge. At each orb there will be a Lightbearer waiting for you. If their supers activate, you can run down the stairs and wait them out until they return to normal, otherwise just use your supers to kill them. After reactivating the barge, I suggest you get off it and jump onto the left or the right staircases. From here you can proceed forward and snipe at all the ads from a safe distance. Be careful of the witches as well as shriekers that are placed in between each of the bridges. At the last bridge, you can ignore the last shrieker and simply jump into the portal. In this room there will be a final barge to take, but when you jump through you will need to deal with a horde of thralls. Use your supers and grenades to dispose of them. If you jump up onto this ledge above where you spawned, you can safely dispose of the thralls without them jumping back at you. Now comes the walk. If any of you have ever done the Crota raid in Destiny 1, then you will be familiar with this. You will need to travel down this creek, following the river till you get to the next room. Along the way you will be picking up a debuff called Weight of Darkness that slows you down. You can get rid of the debuff by standing next to these obelisks, but be careful because once they activate they will explode after a short while. Also, there are plenty of ads like Screeps and Moths along the way. One method is to have one invisibility hunter make the way to the end, which will deactivate the debuff. At the end you will be in the Ogre Room. There is an unstoppable at the bottom with ads around him. When dealing with the ads, be careful of the moths around the room. Every single one can easily one-shot you if it gets too close. Once at the top of the cave, simply stay up here and get rid of all the ogres. lower the health of the Unstoppables and get some finishes on them to max out your heavy ammo. There are 2 Shriekers at the back of a room, so have one person be the decoy and get close enough to them to open them up. You can easily use your RPGs and arbalists to take the Shriekers out from the top of the cave. Now comes the boss room. Take your time here. When the boss first spawns in, he will have groups of thralls around him. Take them out and begin lowering the boss's health. I suggest you stay up here on the top platform that goes around the room to avoid the cursed thralls on the main floor. Don't worry, they won't jump up top, but the boss can, so keep on the move. Try not to use your heavy ammo and save it for the champions that will spawn later on. Once the thrall are dead, lower his health until it's close to the second bar. From here, I suggest you wait for all your supers to come back. Once the boss reaches the second bar, he will go immune in the middle and 2 Arknights as well as a Lightbearer will spawn in the middle. This is when you need to use your tether in the middle to deal as much damage as you can. Make sure to kill the Lightbearer first before killing the Knights to prevent the boss from coming back. This way you can keep one Knight alive and safely run around the room collecting ammo or waiting for your super to recharge. As soon as the Knight dies, the boss will rise and 2 barrier champions will spawn. This is where you will want to immediately take one out. Use your supers and heavy to dispose of them quickly as they can easily wipe your whole team. During this phase, the boss will also pick up speed to the point where he will begin chasing you down. This is why you need the invincibility to safely rotate around the room and keep your distance from him. Once all the ads are dead, keep hitting the boss with your primary weapons and save your heavy and special. When the boss hits exactly half health, another 2 barriers will spawn. Do the same thing and take them out ASAP with your supers and heavies. If anyone goes down, have one person distract the boss whilst the other revives. Once again, lower his health and recover your supers. Once everyone's supers are up, lower his health to the last bar. Another Lightbearer and 2 Knights will spawn in the middle, so launch your supers there and take them out as soon as you can whilst leaving at least 1 Knight alive. Collect your heavy and any orbs that are being made in the middle of the room. When everyone is ready, kill the Knight and lower the boss's health with your primary until the last wave of enemies spawn. These will be the last 2 barrier champions, so use your supers and heavy to take them out too. After defeating the last 2 barriers, no more ads will spawn. Throw everything you have at the boss to finally defeat him. And this is how you complete the Lightblade Nightfall on Grandmaster difficulty. If you have found the video helpful, then please like and share. Don't forget to subscribe to not miss out on more Destiny 2 guides. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.